Yesterday, June 9th, 2026, Anthropic released its newest AI model to the public, Claude Fable 5. Anthropic is now shipping the exact brain they spent 2 months calling a threat to public safety. They actually launched 2 models simultaneously, Claude Fable 5 and its twin, Claude Mythos 5. Even the names suggest a shared identity. Mythos is Greek for a told story, and fable is Latin for the exact same thing. Technically, they are identical. They share the same weights, the same training, and the same frontier capabilities. The only difference is the set of digital locks Anthropic placed on the Fable version. A software mask now serves as the only boundary between a consumer tool and a restricted digital weapon. To understand why Anthropic hid this model, we have to look back to April. That is when they revealed the Mythos class, a tier of intelligence that sits far above their Opus models. Mythos proved to be highly effective at one specific, highly dangerous task: finding and exploiting hidden software vulnerabilities. Because a model that good at hacking could cause widespread damage, they launched Project Glasswing. They kept Mythos locked away, granting access only to a small, strictly vetted group of security researchers and infrastructure operators. To make a public release possible, Anthropic built a software leash. Fable 5 relies on AI classifiers that sit between you and the model, watching every prompt. They trigger whenever a request touches 3 sensitive areas: cybersecurity, biology and chemistry, or model distillation. When the leash detects a risk, it silently swaps the brain. It hands your question to Claude Opus 4.8, their older, weaker public model, while notifying you of the change. Anthropic tuned this leash to be intentionally tight. By their own data, it triggers in under 5% of sessions. That means 95% of the time, users are wielding the full, unchained power of the Mythos architecture. Anthropic admits a perfect, unbreakable leash probably doesn't exist. Their actual strategy is to make jailbreaking so slow and expensive that they can catch a malicious exploit before it spreads out of control. If you're finding this deep dive interesting, hit the subscribe button. It really helps the channel stay independent. Let's look at what this model can actually do. Fable 5 currently leads the pack on nearly every major benchmark. Its lead is most noticeable on complex, multi-step projects where older models tend to lose their way. Take coding. Stripe handed the model a 50 million line codebase and asked for a full migration. A human team would have spent over 2 months on this. Fable 5 completed the entire task in a single day. On vision tasks, older models needed a whole stack of helper tools just to play the game Pokemon Fire Red. Fable 5 beat the entire game using nothing but raw visual screenshots, no maps, no internal data, and no hints. When Anthropic's experts used the unleashed Mythos twin, they sped up drug design components by a factor of 10. In genomics, it ran autonomously for over a week and outperformed a specialized model published in the journal Science, despite being nearly 100 times smaller. These capabilities represent a level of autonomous power that we simply haven't seen in a public release before. It explains why Anthropic felt a leash was a requirement for the launch. This launch comes with a high-stakes contradiction. Anthropic released this model just days after pleading with other labs at a safety summit to hit the brake pedal on frontier development. They are specifically worried about recursive self-improvement, the point where an AI begins upgrading its own code without any humans in the loop. Yet those warnings sit alongside a financial reality. Anthropic is heading toward a massive IPO, and a flagship model that generates high revenue is exactly what potential investors look for. Fable 5 is now distributed globally. It costs double the Opus model and is available immediately through their API, the Claude platform, Google Cloud, and Amazon Web Services. If you have a paid subscription, you have until June 23rd to use it for free before usage credits are required. Also, take note, Anthropic is now keeping 30 days of data on all Mythos-class traffic for safety logging. Anthropic is broadcasting a global safety warning while simultaneously distributing their most powerful, commercially lucrative asset to the public. The launch of Fable 5 is a definitive milestone. It marks the first time frontier-level capabilities of this scale have been made broadly available. But it also signals that the physical boundary between a safe tool and a dangerous exploit has evaporated. The model didn't get safer. The software layer just became the gatekeeper for every question you ask. Safety now depends entirely on whether that gate remains closed. I want to know what you think. Is the fact that the leash just got good enough reassuring, or is it terrifying? Drop your take in the comments, like the video if it got you thinking, and subscribe to Shub Void for more. I'll see you in the next one.